Hello everybody, it is Joseph here, and we are back with part 4 of Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4 Pro. And we're gonna get started, and I don't actually remember exactly where we left off, but we're gonna go a little bit longer with this episode. We'll probably go about 30 minutes, if possible, because I got to unload groceries in probably about an hour or less. So we'll see what actually ends up happening. But I just recently ordered, well actually last night, I ordered a new TV for my room. It's just a 1080p, like I think a 22-inch TV. And then I also ordered a headset that I can use for my PC. And it's just like, I think it like works with like, it's just a wired headset with a mic. And it's apparently a really good quality one. And I ordered it, and it works with the PS4 too, so eventually I'll start recording with the PS4 itself, like the built-in screen record feature with commentary.
Mr. Parker, this call serves as your third and final one. Eviction proceedings.
Wait, I get
He's gonna get evicted, oh no!
Eviction proceedings will start Friday unless full payment is received by close of business.
I'm about to turn off the voices, dialogue. I'm about to do that. I wonder if they'll stay on during the cutscenes or not. Because if they turn off during the cutscenes, I won't do that. But I'm about to turn them off in the middle of the free roaming. You know what? Yeah, let's actually see if I can do that. Audio. Speech volume. I don't know, frick, let's put it at 5. Just to see if that does anything to make it more easily for me to talk. Let's go get this other tower that's over here. Or actually, once the next story mission pulls up, we'll do some story stuff. And actually, we're gonna change suits for this episode. We gotta pick a suit to wear. I think in this episode we'll do the Amazing Spider-Man costume in this episode. Why not? Oh, we gotta go to the Feast Center, okay. I'm on my way, boy. But I'm gonna get this tower up here first. Because I want to try to get all the towers as soon as possible in this playthrough. Because that's what I did on my main playthrough of the personal playthrough that I'm playing through. And on my other save file, you guys saw the other save file on the save file select screen at the beginning of the episode, but I just, like, probably about 2 hours ago or less, I just beat the first, like, I guess half of the game where you defeat Martin Lee and he goes to jail. I just got to that part. Oh wait, spoiler alert, I just realized I spoiled that. You defeat him. And I'm not gonna say who Martin Lee is, but you guys will find out. I didn't mean to spoil that. I didn't mean to spoil that at all. And also, we might as well, while we're at it, we might as well get some of these tokens and shit. Ugh! Get me tokens! Take a picture of Central Park. Central Park! Oh, it's Madison Square Park. Okay, never mind. Backpack time. Going to get a backpack. Because we'll need all these tokens to unlock costumes. Which tokens do I need for this costume? I need 2 backpack tokens. Okay. So we gotta go find 2 backpacks to unlock the Noir suit. Give me backpack! Attention units, blah 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 blah. We got a backpack. Okay. I'm turning up the dialogue a little bit more. Let's turn it up to 7. Cool. More backpack times. Let's go get that one. Backpack! Bro, I want that backpack. Shit. I don't know if I've talked about like my history with Spider-Man on in this series yet, but essentially, I grew up watching the. I feel like I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. I grew up with the Tobey Maguire movies, like, constantly. I would always watch them. I remember the only one I went to see in theaters was Spider-Man 3 when I was in kindergarten, and I wish I remembered it more because I fell asleep in the middle of the movie and I woke up during the Venom fight. I remember that, at least. I don't remember the Venom. I don't remember watching it. I just remember waking up and seeing Spider-Man fighting Venom, and I'm like, wait, what? And then next thing you knew, we were leaving the movie theater, and I missed the whole movie. But then my mom bought it for me, and I watched it non-stop. And it came with a really, it came with like a thick comic book. Like, the comic book wasn't like the full-size comic book. It was like the size, like, it had the dimensions of like a children's novel. Like, it wasn't like the size of a piece of printer paper, like a normal comic book. It was the size of like a standard book, but it had like at least 60, 70, maybe 80 pages, and it was really freaking cool, and I wish I still had it, because I would think it was awesome. I spent years after the fact, after I lost it, I forgot about it, and then I remembered it, and I spent years looking for it, but now we moved out of California, so I'm probably never going to find it again. I'll probably look it up and see, exactly which one it is. Let's get that one and that one. We got 2 in 1 go. No, we got to switch back to the Amazing suit. We're showcasing this suit in this episode, boy. Wait, what's the... There we go. The Flatty Run building. Alright, I say we got 2 suits. I say we go do the task that we were given. Web swinging. So fun. Oh yeah, and then so basically I grew up on the Sam Raimi movies. And then when I saw I remember watching the trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man for the first time. And I was like so confounded because that was my first experience ever with a reboot. Like knowing that it's a reboot and not being confused and stuff. That was my first ever reboot that I can remember that I actually realized was a reboot and that I was actually excited for. And I watched that movie in theaters on my, I think it was my 12th, how old was I in 2012? I was 10, so on my 10th birthday, I went to go see The Amazing Spider-Man in theaters, and it was pretty darn fun. I loved that movie, and I bought it on DVD the day it came out on DVD. And I still have that DVD at my parents' house somewhere, and what's it called? The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I loved that one, and I watched the crap out of it. It was amazing. I did not see that one in theaters, but when I remember when they announced. Here, let's web swing a little bit while I talk about this. And we'll get some tokens and stuff. I remember when they announced that the Amazing Spider-Man series was concluding. Because Spider-Man was joining the MCU, I was in, I think, 7th grade? 7th or 8th grade. And then I was, like, really acted pretty depressed and sad. No, I wasn't depressed, but I was like, dang, that legit kind of sucks. And I was just, like, kind of upset about it. And there was talk that they were going to bring a Miles Morales into the MCU, like, immediately. And then I didn't even know who got the job. I didn't even know who got the part until after we moved in the process from when Spider-Man was announced to be added to Captain America Civil War or at least added to the MCU. From that point and then up until the Civil War trailer that showed Spider-Man, I had ended up moving to a completely different state, which was Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. And then I was in 8th grade when they released that Civil War trailer. And, bro, I had never been more excited about a movie in my life. Ever. I'd never been more excited. And then I ended up going to see Civil War in theaters. And I was literally nerdgasming in my pants the entire time. Like, even the parts without Spider-Man were good. But, boy, oh boy. I was having, like, the biggest nerd fit in the world. it was just so exciting for me to see, because I loved the MCU, and I was back when the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 came out, and I was like, because Avengers came out the same year as the Amazing Spider-Man, I was like, bro, wouldn't it be cool if Spider-Man was in this? And then the Amazing Spider-Man series got canceled, and I was kind of sad about it. But once they showed off that Civil War trailer, boy, I was no longer upset. I was like, fuck Andrew Garfield. Hello, Tom Holland. And I was super happy. And I saw Civil War in theaters, and I was a bit disappointed at the lack of Spider-Man scenes. But there was still a good amount, for especially because it's his first movie. He had a pretty important role. And then they released the trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming when I was a freshman. And oh boy, the nerdgasms returned. Oh boy, did they return, and they were bigger and better than ever. But yeah, that was a big thing for me with Spider-Man Homecoming. That was like the pinnacle of my excitement for a movie. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a movie than I was for Spider-Man Homecoming. I honestly, at this moment in time, I cannot think of which one I might have been more excited for. Where's this freaking backpack? It's up there. But, and then, so Spider-Man, and then Infinity War and, what's it called, Endgame, I was excited. I was very excited. Like, the nerdgasms returned, but they weren't as wet and gross nerdgasms as they were when I saw Homecoming and Civil War. Oh, and I did see Homecoming in theaters as well. I saw that in theaters with my grandpa, who literally could care less about the movie. Because him and me went to go see Spider-Man Homecoming, and my grandma, the grandma that, I have tons of different grandparents, but this specific set of grandparents, she went to go see Despicable Me 3 while we went to go see Spider-Man. And side information, the reason I say I have so many grandparents is because literally every single set of grandparents that I originally had, at least once, for every single one, they've all been married and then re-divorced, married and then divorced, and then remarried again at least once each. Which means I have 1,000 uncles. If I ever mention an uncle on this channel, there's a high likelihood I'm talking about a different uncle every single time. But either way, so I really enjoyed Spider-Man in Infinity War and Endgame. And then Infinity War, I literally cried in the movie theater. Because I saw Infinity War in theaters as well. I literally cried. I actually broke down crying. When the, Mr. Stark, I Don't Feel So Good, scene played. I actually cried. I could not contain my tears. It was too emotional for me. And then the memes helped make me feel better. But I was still like, man... I knew he was gonna... Everyone pretty much knew. Oh god, the Elgato just freaked out for a second. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, I cried during Infinity War when Spoderman died. And I knew he was gonna come back because pretty much everyone already knew that every single character that wasn't gonna, like, actually die. Pretty much everyone who dusted was gonna come back. Everyone pretty much already knew that. So I wasn't upset. Like, it wasn't like a lasting sadness. But it was kind of like when I watched the SpongeBob movie, the first one. I literally cry every time when SpongeBob and Patrick are drying out. It's like that. And then Infinity War came out, Endgame came out, and I felt like Spider-Man should have had a bigger role. Because he was barely in that movie at all. Like, he wasn't even like a side character. He had like 10 minutes or less of screen time, I think. And then Far From Home came out, and I didn't see that one in theaters at all, but I remember watching it back when it, like, around the time it first came out on DVD, and I was like, man, it's a great movie, and I'm definitely going to rewatch it multiple times, but I didn't get the same thrill out of any of the other appearances of Spider-Man in the MCU. I don't want to say I didn't care, but I definitely didn't care as much, at all. I was like, I don't know why, I just wasn't as excited at all. Like, I was almost, I don't want to say that I was bored while watching it, but I kind of was, to be honest. And, it just wasn't, it was better than, Homecoming as a movie, I would say, but I don't know, man. I didn't really care for, I would just, it's not that I didn't care for it, it's that I wasn't as excited. I just was not as excited as I should have been. I feel like the Elgato is like freaking out right now. I don't know why. I think it's because my computer's literally on fire. Like, it's super hot. Honestly, we're probably not going to do any more side missions in this episode. This might actually be a shorter episode where I'll just talk about stuff. And then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, they released that trailer in like around Christmas 2018, I think, or 2017. One of those. I don't remember. And I watched the trailer 1,000 times. The original like teaser trailer that they showed, I watched that trailer 1,000 times. I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, in all realisticness, I watched it at least 150 times before the next trailer came out. And the movie itself, I had the same feeling that I had with Far From Home. I just wasn't. It was a great movie, probably one of the best Spider-Man movies out there. It was just, I just wasn't excited watching it. I don't know why. I was mad at myself for not being as excited as I wanted to be, or as much as I should have been. And then, what's it called? I don't know, I don't want to talk about the game side of things. I'm mostly talking about the movies right now, but one of my favorite video games of all time is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions on the DS. That's pretty weird to say, but the DS version of Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is one of my favorite games of all time. And if anything, it is my favorite DS game. I absolutely love it. It's like a Spider-Man Metroidvania. That's literally what it is. And there's tons of different modes. Like, literally, it encourages that you play the game multiple times. Because it's only about a 2-hour game, but there's literally so many modes, and they add so many different things to the game. And there's multiple difficulties. There's like not hundreds, but there's a ton of challenges, and they're all super fucking hard, and I never beat all of them. But bro, it's a fun game. What else? And then I really hope that Spider-Man 3 or the next Spider-Man Homecoming movie, I really hope they bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as other Spider-Men. God, I would be so happy. It would be a literal dream come true, and it would be my childhood literally coming full circle. It would be amazing. But I need to take a selfie for the thumbnail. We gotta take selfies for thumbnail. Selfie time. I guess I will pause right here so that I can just take a snapshot of it when we get to this. When I end the video, I'll just screenshot it. I can do this too. There we go. Alright, so anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this little backstory video on me and the Spider-Man movies. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Comment down below, because I really like responding to your guys' comments. You guys are all really cool. And then don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because it really does help out a lot. And without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next